birds will sing, ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet as the spring.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion he bequeathed me by will but poor 1,000 crowns, and, as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. He keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth, that differs not from the stalling of an ox? His horses are bred better, yet I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, the which his animals on their dunghills are as much bound to him as I. This is it, Adam, that grieves me.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I'm not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed, and be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well. Here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
I, better than him I am before, knows me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better in that you are the firstborn. But the same tradition takes not away my blood. Were there 20 brothers betwixt us, I have just as much of my father in me as you.
Thou lay hands on me, villain!
I am no villain! I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that sent such a father begot villains!
Masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at accord.
Let me go, I say!
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you on his blessing to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, hiding and obscuring from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman. If not, then give me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that, I shall go and buy my fortune.
And what wilt thou do? Beg? When that is spent? Well, then, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you, or you shall have some part of your will. I pray you leave me.
I will no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, you old dog.
This old dog, my reward. Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will physic your rankness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither. Holadiness.
Calls your worship.
Was not Charles the Duke's wrestler here to speak with me?
So please you, he is at the door and importune access to you.
Call him in. It will be a good wait. And tomorrow, the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Monsieur Charles, what's the new news at the new court?
There is no news at the court, sir, but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke. 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him.
Well, can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh no, for the duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her exile or have died to stay behind her. She's at the court, no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter. Never two ladies loved as they do.
Oh, yes, but where will the old duke live?
They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and many merry men with him. There they live like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many young gentlemen flock to him every day, and fleet the time carelessly, as they did in the golden world.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry, do I, sir? I came to acquaint you with the matter. I'm given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando had the disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit. And he that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender. For your love, I'll be loath to foil him, as I must for my own honor if he come in.
Charles, I have myself noticed of my brother's purpose herein. and have by underhand means labored to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow, full of ambition and envious emulator against every man's good parts. A secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best to look to it. For if thou dost him any slight disgrace, or if he do not mightily grace himself on thee, he will practice against thee by poison. For I assure thee, and almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous as stay living.
I'm hardly glad I came hither to you. If you come tomorrow, I'll give him his papers. If ever you go alone again, I'll never wrestle for prize more. So, God keep your worship.
Farewell to Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him, for my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never schooled, yet learned. So much in the heart of the world, and especially of my own people who best know him, and I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be so long, this rustler shall clear all.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my cause, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of, and would you yet I were merrier? Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy uncle, the Duke my father, so thou hadst been still with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father from mine. So wouldst thou. The truth of thy love to me were so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from my father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will. When I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I will, coz. And devise sports. Let me see, what think you of falling in love?
Marry I do, to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest.
What shall be our sport then?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife Fortune from her wheel, that henceforth her gifts may be bestowed more equally.
I would we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced.
'Tis true, for though she makes fair, she scarce makes honest. And though she makes honest, she makes burial favorable.
Nay, now thou goest from Fortune's office to Nature's. Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
No, when nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? Nature hath given us wit to flout at fortune. But hath not wit sent in this fool to cut off the argument? How now, wit? Whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Oh, of a certain knight that swore by his honor they were good pancakes, and swore by his honor the mustard was not. Now, I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
Ay, Mary, now unmuzzle your wisdom.
Oh, stand you both forth now. Stroke your chins and swear by your beards, that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
Oh, by my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that is not, you are not forsworn. Oh, no more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any. Or if he had sworn it away before ever he saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Prithee, who is it that thou meetst?
One that old Frederick, your father, loves.
My father's love is enough to honor him. Enough. Speak no more of him. You'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
The more pity that fools may not speak wisely what wise men do foolishly.
Oh, here comes Madame Lebeau,
Oh, with her mouth full of news.
which she will put on us as pigeons feed their young.
Then shall we be news-crammed?
Bonjour, Madame Lebeau. What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport. I would have told you good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of.
You tell us the manner of the wrestling.
I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you may see the end.
Well, the beginning, that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man and his 3
I could
sons.
match this beginning with an old...
The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, so that there is little hope of life in him. And so he served the 2nd, and so the 3rd.
Alas!
But what is the sport, madam, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
Oh, thus men may grow wiser every day. It is the first time that ever I heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise
But
you.
is there any else that long to see the broken music in his sides? Is there another dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we say this wrestling cause?
You must if you stay here, for here's the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
Yonder, sure they are coming. Let us stay and see it.
Come on, since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
Alas, he is too young. But he looks successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin, are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
I, my liege, so please you give us leave.
Oh, you will find little delight in it, I can tell you. There is such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Call him hither, Madame Lebeau.
Monsieur the challenger, the princesses call for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come in but as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. We beseech you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation might not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that this wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess myself much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein if I be foiled, there is but one shame that was never gracious. If killed, but one dead that was willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
Oh, the little strength I have, I would it were with you.
And mine eke out hers.
Very well. Pray, haven't I be deceived in you?
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come! Where is this young count that so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir! But his will hath in it a more modest working.
You shall try but one fall.
Now, Hercules, be thy speed, young man!
I would I were invisible to catch a strong man by the leg!
Oh, no more, no more. How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
I wouldst thou had been son to some man else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did still find him mine enemy. Thou shouldst have pleased me better with this deed, hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well. Thou art a gallant youth. I wouldst thou had told me of another father.
Were I my father, cause would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world is of my father's mind. Had I before known this young man, his son, I should have given him tears and to entreaty ere he should thus have ventured.
Cousin, Father, let us thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. You do keep your promises in love, but justly, as you have exceeded all promise. Your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen! Wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune. That could give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and what here stands up is but a quintain, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back, my prideful with my fortune. They'll ask what he will. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well, and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Poor, poor Orlando. Thou art overthrown, or Charles or something weaker masters thee.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place, albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause, and love, yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank thee, madame. Oh, and pray you, tell me this. Which of the two was daughter to the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners, but yet indeed the lesser is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here detained by her usurping uncle to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. But I have learned of late that the Duke has taken displeasure against his gentle niece. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter, in a better world than this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bound unto you, and fare thee well. Now must I from the smoke into the smother, from a tyrant duke into a tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind!
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy. What's not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
Nay, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curse. Come, lay some of them on me. Lame me with reasons.
And there were two cousins laid up. And one should be lamed with reasons and the other mad without any.
Is all this for your father?
No. Some of it's for my child's father. Oh, the briars is this working day
They are
world.
but burrs, cousin. If we walk not in the trodden paths, our very petticoats will catch them.
I could shake them off my coat. These burrs are in my heart.
Come, come, wrestle with thy...
Oh, I take a better part of a wrestler than myself.
Good wish upon you. Is it possible, on such a sudden, you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest
The
son?
Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore follow that you must love his son dearly? Well, by that kind of chase, I should hate him. For my father hated his father dearly, yet I hate not Orlando.
No, faith, hate him not for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that. And you love him because I do. Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near a public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let me my fault bear with me. If with myself I hold intelligence or acquaintance with my own desire, never so much of a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
If your mistrust cannot make me a traitor, tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord. Or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else would she with her father had ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she betrayed her, so am I. That we still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together, and wheresoever we went, like Juno's swan, still we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool, she robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone.
No, please.
Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon mine honor and the greatness of my ward, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind. Whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I pray thee be not thou as aggrieved as I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Knowest thou not the Duke has banished me, his father?
He hath not.
No? Hath not? Rosalind lacks then the love that teaches thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek out another heir. Therefore devise with me how we may fly. Say what thou canst, I will go with thee.
Wait, whither shall we go?
To seek mine uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will that be to us? Maids we are to travel forth so far. Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than go.
I'll dress myself in poor and mean attire, the like do you. Therefore we shall pass along and never stir a
Were
sailor.
it not better that I am more than common tall, that I did suit me all points like a man?
Yes.
We will have a swashing and a marshal outside, as many managed cowards had, and to outface it with their semblances.
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse name than Jove's own page. Therefore, look you, call me Ganymede! But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
Cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travels?
He'll go o'er the wide world with me and leave me alone to woo him. Come, let's away. To liberty, not to banishment.
Who's there?
What? My young master. Oh, my gentle master. Oh, my sweet master. Oh, my memory of all so ruined. Why, what makes you here? Your praises come too swiftly home before you. Know you not, master, to some kind of men, their graces serve them but as enemies. Oh, what a world is this, when what is comely envenoms him that bears it.
What's wrong?
Oh, unhappy youth, come not within these doors, within this roof. The enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother, no brother, yet the son, yet not the son, I will not call him son, of him I was about to call his father, hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. I overheard him and his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
What? Wouldst thou have me go and beg my food? Or with a rude and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the common road? This I must do, or know not what to do. Yet this I will not do how I can. I will rather subject myself to the malice of a diverted blood and a bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire I saved under your father. And all this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty. For in my youth I never did apply hot and rebellious liquors in my blood. Therefore my age is as a lusty winter, frosty but kindly. Let me go with you. I'll do the service of younger men in all your business and necessities.
Oh, good old man. How well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, when service sweat for duty and not for meed. Though it not for the fashion of these times, but come thy ways, we'll go along together.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee. To the last gasp with truth and loyalty. From 17 years till now, almost 80. Here lived I, but now live here no more. Yet fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well and not my master's debtor. Hey ho!
We're here for some music. We're here for some dancing. You're better for this than I am.
More sweet than that of painted pomp?
Yeah! fierce court. Yeah! Ow! Here we feel that the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which, when it bites and blows upon my body, even when I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity. And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stone, good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into something so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go and kill his venison? Yet it hurts me. The poor dappled fools, being native Berbers in this desert city, should in their own confines with forked heads have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord. The melancholy Shaka screams at that, and in that kind swear that you do more usurp than doth your brother that hath banished you.
What says Jacques? Does he not moralize the spectacle?
Into 1,000 families. But today, my lady, I'm here to myself. Did steal behind as he lay along or under an oak whose ancient root speaks out, and upon the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag, that from a hunter's aim has taken a hurt. Did it come to languish?
Show me the place. I love to coat him in these solemn fits, for they is full of matter.
I'll bring him to you straight.
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits.
Oh, I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I could find in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman.
Bear with me. I can go no further.
Oh, for my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you. Yet I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
How am I in Arden? The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place.
Hey!
Oh, but travelers must be content.
Aye, be so good, Touchstone.
Oh, boy, sir.
Look who comes here.
What do you question, young man? Does he be for golden girls? Any food I faint almost to the death?
How are you, Clyde?
Face fool! Good evening to you, sir.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I prithee, if that gold or love can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us to where we may rest ourselves and feed. For here is a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
Fair sir, I pity her. But I am shepherd to another man, and do not shear the fleeces that I graze. My master is of churlish disposition. Besides, his coat, his flocks, and bounds our feet are now on sale, and at our sheep coat now, by reason of his absence, there is nothing that you will feed on. But what is? Come see, and in my voice most welcome shall you be.
I prithee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it. Of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and willingly could waste my time in it.
Surely the thing is to be sold. Go with me.
Oh.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me, and to this merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall ye see no end on me in winter and strong weather.
More, I prithee more.
It'll make you melancholy, Monsieur Jacques.
I thank it. More, I prithee more. I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come more. Another stanza. Call you them stanza?
What you will, Monsieur Jacques.
Nay, I care not for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well then, if ever I thank any man, I'll thank you. But that they call compliment is like the encounter of two dog apes. And when a man thanks me heartily, he thinks I have given him a penny, and he renders me the beggarly thanks. Come, sing.
Well, I'll end the song. The Duke will drink under this tree. He hath been all this day to look you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, sing.
Who doth ambition shun, and loves to lie in the sun, seeking the food he eats and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy in winter and strong weather.
I'll go sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet's prepared.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here I lie down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
Well, how now, Adam? No greater heart in thee? Live a little, comfort a little, cheer a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it, or bring it for food to thee. Come, I will bear thee to shelter, and thou shalt not die for lack of dinner, if there live anything in this desert. Cheerly, good Adam.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man.
My lord, he is even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing the honey song.
If he, compacted jars, grow musical, then we shall have shortly discord in the spheres. Go, seek him. Tell him I would speak with him.
Ah, he saves my labor by his own approach.
How now, monsieur? What a life is this, that your poor friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily.
A fool, a fool. I met a fool in the forest, a motley fool. A miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and bathed him in the sun, and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his book, and looking at it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, "It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see," quoth he, "how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11, and so from hour to hour we ripe and ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot and rot, and thereby hangs a tale." When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer, that fools should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. Oh, noble fool, a worthy fool,
What fool is this?
Oh, worthy fool, oh, one that has been a courtier, and in his brain ye have strange places crammed with observation, which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit. I must have liberty withal to blow on whom I please, for so fools and they that are most gullible with my folly, they most must laugh. And why, sir, must they so? The why is plain as way to parish church. He that a fool doth very wisely hit, doth very foolishly.
File me. I can tell what thou wouldst do.
Forbear and eat no more!
Why, I have eaten none yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served.
Of what kind did this cock come of?
Art thou thus golden man by thy distress? Or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemest so empty?
The thorny point of bare distress hath ta'en from me the show of smooth civility. He dies that touches any of this fruit, till I and my affairs are answered. I almost die for food, and let me have it!
Sit down and feed. Welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Oh, pardon me, I pray thee. I thought all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of certain commandments.
Time is it we have seen better days. Therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command the help we have that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little while. There is an old poor man, whom after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love. Till he be the first sufficed, I will not touch a bit.
Go, find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return.
I thank thee, and be blessed for your good comfort.
And so thou seest, we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we played.
And all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. This act being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. And then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shiny morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like Ernest, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly and good keep on line, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into a lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful hose, well saved. A world too wide for his shrunk shank. And his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sack. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Set down your venerable birth and let him feed.
I thank you the most for him.
So had you need. I scarce can speak. To thank you for myself.
If that you were the good Sir Roland's son, as you have whispered faithfully you were, be truly welcome hither. I am the duke that loved your father. The residue of your fortune, go to my cave and tell me. Good old man, you are right welcome, as thy master is. Support him by the arm. Give me thy hand. Let me all your fortunes understand.
Hang there, my verse, in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, and carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, the unexpressive she.
And how like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Oh, truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect of it as a shepherd's life, it is not. Now, in respect of it as solitary, I like it very well. But in respect of it as private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect of it as in the fields, oh, it pleaseth me well. But in respect of it as not in the court, it is tedious. As is it a spare life, look you. Oh, it fits my humor well. But as there's no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Oh. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more, but that I know. The more one sickens, the worse it is. That the property of rain is to wet and fire to burn, and good pasture makes fat sheep. And a great cause of the night is lack of the sun. That he that have learned no wit by nature, nor art may complain of good breeding, or comes of a very dull kindred.
Oh, such a one is a natural philosopher.
Here comes young Master Enemy, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined, arm of black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
Oh, I will rhyme you so 8 years together. Oh, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. But it is the right but a woman's rank to market. For a taste.
Oh.
If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosaline. Oh, sweetest nut, sourest rind, such a nut as Rosaline. Oh, he that sweetest rose will find, must find love's prick and Rosaline. Oh, this is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with that?
Peace, you dope fool. I found them on a tree.
Oh, truly the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace, here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Why should this a desert be? For to some people? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree that shall civil sayings show. Some of violated vows twixt the souls of friend and friend. But upon the fairest vows, or at every sentence end, will I Rosalinda write. Teaching all agreed to know the contestants of every spite heavenly will show.
Was gentle pulpiter, which he is humbly above you, weary your parishioners with all, and ever cry have patience, good people.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Yes, I heard them all, and more too.
But didst thou hear that wonder how thy name came to be hanging carved upon these trees?
I was 7 out of the 9 days of wonder before you came. But look here, what I found on a palm tree. It was never so be mine since Pythagoras' time.
True you would have done this.
Is it a man?
And the chain that you once wore around his neck? Change your color?
I'm really who?
Oh, Lord, Lord. It is a hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed if earthquakes and so encountered.
Hey, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Hey, I prithee with most petitionary meetings. Tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful, and again,
Good, my complexion. Does thou think though I am comparison like a man, I have a doublet nose in my disposition? 1 inch of delay more is like a South Sea discovery. I prithee, tell me what it is quickly and speak apace. I would thou couldst stammer that they might have poured that concealed man out of thy mouth as wine comes out of a narrow mouth bottle, either too much at once or not at all. I really take the cork out of thy mouth that I may drink the tidings.
So may you put a man in your belly.
Is he of God's making? Why, What manner of
It
man?
is young Orlando that can trim up the rest of the seals in your heart all in an instant.
Nay, the devil take mocking. Speak that brown true maid.
In faith, cause 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Bless the day! What shall I do with my Dublin pose? What did he when thou sawest he? What said he? How looked he? Where was he? Did he ask for me? How parted was he? Where remains he when thou shalt please him again? Answer me in one word!
You must borrow me gargantuous mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size.
But doth he know him in the forest and in dressed to man's apparel? Oh, looks he as freshly as the day he wrestled?
It is as easy to count atomies as it is to resolve the propositions of a lover. Yet take a taste of my finding him and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
You may as well be called Job's tree when drops forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam.
Mercy.
There lay he, stretched along, like a wounded knight.
Oh, it would be a pity to see such a sight. It well becomes the ground.
Hold on to thy tongue, it hurts unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I must sing my song without a burden. You bring me out of tune.
Do you not know I am a woman? When I think I must speak. Sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft, comes he not here?
Tis he. Sleep by and no him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief been myself alone.
And so had I. But for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your company.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their bark.
I pray you, bar no more my verses by reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
Well, there was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
You have a nimble wit. Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress the world and all our misery.
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I would not change for your best virtue.
Oh.
I am weary of you.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad for your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave with him.
Do you hear, Forster?
Very well. What would you?
I prithee, what is your clock?
What? You should ask me what time of day. There is no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had not that been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
Here with a shepherdess, my sister, in the skirts of a forest, like fringed upon a petticoat.
Are you native to this place?
As the coney you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer than you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak. Who in his youth was an inland man and knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God that I am not a woman. But he touched with so many giddy offenses that he has taxed their old sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils that he hath laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal, they were all like one another as halfpence are, one seeming monstrous till his fellow faults came to match.
I prithee, recount some of them.
I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man that haunts the forest and abuses our young plants with the carving of Rosalind on their barks. Hangs odes upon hawthorns and elgies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet this fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaped. Pray, tell me your remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me no man in love in which cage of rushes. I'm sure you are not prisoner. You are rather a point device in your own accoutrements as loving yourself and seeming lover to any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it? You may as well make her that you love believe it. Ringus, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to the youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you deserves as well as a dark house and wind as madmen do. Yet I profess fearing of my counsel.
Do you ever hear any so?
Yes, one. And in this manner he was to imagine me, his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me. At which time would I be but a moonish youth, grieve, effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything. Now like him, now loathe him, now weep for him, then spit at him. Then I drain my suitor from his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness. And thus I cured him. And which way will I take upon me to wash your liver clean as a sound sheep's heart? There shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you. If you would but call me Rosalind and come to my coat every day to woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I'll show you. Will you go?
Now, with all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey, am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features? Lord warrant us, what features?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet honest Ovid was among the Goths.
Oh, knowledge ill-inhabited, worse than Jove in a thatched house.
Truly, I would the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest in deed and word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly. But for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry, oh. And what they swear in poetry may be said as lovers, they do feign.
Do you wish then the gods had made me poetical?
Oh, I do. For thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly. Oh, unless thou wert hard favored. Oh, for honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey as sauce to sugar. Oh.
A material fool.
Well, I am not fair, and therefore I pray the gods make me honest.
Oh, truly, and to cast away honesty upon a foul slut, or to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut, though I thank the gods I am foul.
Oh, praised be the gods for thy foulness. The sluttishness may come hereafter. But be this as may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with Sir Oliver Martex, the vicar of the next village, who had promised to meet me in this place of the forest and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Oh, amen. Oh, amen, may, if he were of a fearful heart, stagger in this attempt. For here we have no temple but the wood, no assembly but horn beasts. But what though? Courage. As horns are odious, they are necessary. Oh, here comes Sir Oliver. Sir Oliver Martex! Oh, you are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go with you to your temple?
Is there nothing to give the woman?
Oh, I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed. I'll give her.
Oh, good evening, good Mr. What do you call it? How do you, sir? You are very well met. God, you do for your last company. I am very glad to see you.
And will you be married, Riley?
Oh, As the ox hath his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falcon her bells, so man hath his desires. And as pigeon's bill, also wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be buried under a bush like a beggar? Get you to church and have a good priest that can tell you what marriage is. This fellow will but join you together as they join wainscot. Then one of you will prove a shrunk panel and like green timber. Warp.
I am not in the mind, but I were better to be married of him than of another. For he is not like to marry me well. Oh, and being not well married will be a good excuse for me hereafter to leave my wife.
Go thou with me, and let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in baldry.
Talk to me, I will weep.
Do, I pray thee, and have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good a cause as one would desire, therefore weep.
Oh, his very hair is of resembling color.
Something browner than Judas's Mary. His kisses are Judas's own children.
His kissing is as full of sanctity as the touch of holy bread.
Yet got a pair of cast lips of Diana, and none of winter's sisterhood kisses not more religiously. The very ice of chastity is in them.
Why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly, because there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes. I think he is not a pick purse, nor a horse stealer, but for his verity in love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They are both the confirmer of false reckonings. He attends here in the forest on the Duke, your father.
I met the Duke yesterday and had much question with him. He asked me what parentage I was. I said, as good as he. So he laughed and let me go. Oh, why talk if we have fathers when there is such a man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. Writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. But all's brave where youth mounts and folly guides. Oh, comes here.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me, do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose hearty accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the acid upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives in but by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I belie thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou tellest me there's murder in mine eye. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart. And if mine eyes can wound, let them kill thee. Now show me the wound mine eyes have made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not. Nor I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever as that ever may be near, you find in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks, pity me not. As till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you, who might be your mother that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What though you have no beauty? As by my faith I see no more in you than without candlelight go dark to bed. Must you therefore be proud and pitiless? You foolish shepherd. Wherefore do you follow her like a foggy south, puffing with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she, a woman. 'Tis fools as
it's you that make this world so full of ill-favored children!
My mistress, know yourself down on your knees and thank heaven fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you friendly in your ear.
Sell when you can, you are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer. Foul is most foully, foul to be a scoffer. So the shepherd, take her to me.
Fare you well.
Oh, sweet youth, I pray you, chide a year together? I had rather hear you chide than this man will.
He's fallen in love with your fondness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. As fast as she answers thee with frowning looks, I sauce her with bitter words.
Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
Oh, I prithee, do not fall in love with me, for I am false with the vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. Shepherd, ply her hard. Come, sister. Shepherdess, look on him better. Come to our flock.
Oh, dead shepherd. Now I find thy sword might. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Sylvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Sylvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, by giving love your grief and my sorrow were both extermined.
Thou hast my love, is that not neighborly?
I would have you.
Sylvius, that were covetousness. Sylvius, the time was I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love. But since thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I'll endure. And I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love that I would think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken years after the man that the main harvest reaps.
Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft.
Oh, think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis a peevish boy, yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. 'Tis a pretty youth, well, not very pretty, and sure he's proud, and yet his pride becomes him. Oh, he'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion. Faster than his tongue did cause offense, his eye did heal it up. Oh, there be some women, Sylvius, had they marked him in parcels as I had, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. Yet I've more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? I'll write him a very taunting letter, thou shalt bear it, wilt thou, Sylvius?
Oh, Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight, the matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Sylvius.
Pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in the extremity of either are abominable fellows, who betray themselves to every modern censor. Worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then, 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which politic, nor the ladies, which is nice, nor the lovers, which is all peace. But it is a melancholy of mine own, the sundry contemplation of my travels. Yes, I have gained experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad. And to travel for it, too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Say then, God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Why, how now, Orlando? Where you been all this while? You, a lover? And you served me such another trick. Never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love. He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break but a part of 1,000th part in the affairs of love. It may be said that Cupid hath clapped him over the shoulder, but not a word him heart all.
No, pardon me, dear Rosalind, pardon me.
Nay, and you be so tardy, never come in my sight more. It is least be wooed of a snail.
A snail?
I am a snail. For though it comes slowly, it carries its house on its head. Better joint her, I think, than you make a woman. Besides, it brings this news of
What's that?
my horns, of such as you are fain to be beholding of your lives for.
Virtue is no horn maker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
And it pleases him to call you so. The other Rosalind of a better year than you.
Come, woo me, woo me. For now I'm in a holiday humor and lack enough consent. What would you say to me now when I were your very, very Rosalind?
Oh, I would kiss before I speak.
You were better speak first. When you were gravel for lack of that, you might take an occasion to kiss.
How was the kiss be denied?
And she put you 2 and 3, and there be no matter.
Who could be out being before his beloved mistress?
Mary, that should you. Not I, your Rosalind.
Well, I take some joy to say thou art, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person I say, I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die!
No, fate! Die by eternity. The poor world was almost 6,000 years old, and all this time there was no man died in love cause. They had died from time to time, and worms had eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right, Rosalind, of this mind. I protest her frown might kill me.
This hand will not kill us alive. But come now. I will be your Rosalind, and we're coming on disposition. And ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I. Fridays, Saturdays, and all.
And wilt thou have me?
I am 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Were you not good?
I hope so.
Why did I give one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. What? Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Pretty, marry us.
I cannot see the words.
You must sing in. Will you, Orlando?
I'll go too. Will you, Orlando, have to like this Rosalind?
I will.
I go when?
Now, as fast as she can marry us.
You must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife. Oh.
I might ask you for your commission, but I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. Now tell me, how long will you have her after you have possessed her?
Oh, forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of you than a barberry cock pigeon over his hen, more clamorous than a parrot against rain.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
She would not have the wit to do this.
For these 2 hours, dear Rosalind, I believe you.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack these 2
I
hours.
must attend the Duke at dinner. Come 2 o'clock, I will be with you again.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one castaway, and so come death. 2 o'clock is your hour?
I, fair Rosalind.
My trouble. And in good earnest. And by all pretty things that are not dangerous. If you break one
beware my censor and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. And so adieu.
You have simply misused our sex with your love crate. We must have your doublet and hose plucked over your head so the world can see what the bird hath done to her own nest.
Oh, Gus, my pretty little Gus. Thou didn't know how many fathom deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom like the bare Portugal.
Or rather bottomless. For as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
I tell thee, Eliana, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. Look find a shadow inside me.
Now sleep.
Which is he that killed the deer?
Sir, was I.
Let's present her to the Duke, like a Roman conqueror, and it would do well to set the deer's horns upon her head for a branch of victory. Have you no song for us for this purpose?
Yes, sir.
Sing it! 'Tis no matter how it be in tune, so it make noise enough.
The horn, the lusty horn is not the thing to laugh the scorn.
The horn, the lusty horn is not the thing to laugh the scorn.
Take down the scorn to where the horn it was, the crest that thou was born.
Take down the scorn to where the horn it was, the crest that thou was born.
Thy father wore, and now thy father bore. Hey, the horn, the lusty horn is not the thing to laugh the scorn.
The horn, the lusty horn is not the thing to laugh the scorn.
The horn, the horn, the horn, the horn, the horn, the horn, the horn. Hey, you like it?
The lusty horn, the horn.
What say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock and you're going to Orlando?
Oh, he comes here.
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I can guess by her waspus action and stern brow, which she did use as she was writing of it, that it bears an angry tenor. Oh, pardon me, I was a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself with starlight this letter and play the swaggerer.
Bear this, Sparrow. She says I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud, but she cannot love me more man as rare as Phoenix. Ah, it's my will. Her love is not the hair that I do hunt. Right, she so to me. Well, shepherd, well. This is a letter of your own device.
Oh, I protest. I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
She Phoebes me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to a shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can the woman round us?
And call you this railing.
Why, thy Godhead laid apart, warst thou with a woman's heart? Have you ever heard such railing? Whiles you chide me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? Oh, he that brings his love to me little knows that love in me. And by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will the faithful offer take of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die. Call you this chiding.
Poor shepherd.
You pity him? No, he deserves no pity. What's that love such a woman? What, to make thee a false instrument and play strings upon thee, not to be endured? Oh, go your ways to her, for I see love hath made thee a tame snake. Say this, if she loved me, I'd charge her to love thee. You be a true lover hence. Not a word, here comes for company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know where in the purliest of this forest stands a sheepcote fenced about with olive trees.
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom, but at this hour the house does keep itself is none at home.
If that and I may profit by a tongue, then should I know you by description. Are you not the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked who say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind. He sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
Ma'am, what are we to understand of
It is
this?
when last young Orlando parted from you. He left a promise to return again within an hour. And pacing through the forest, lo, what befell. He threw his eye aside and marked what an object did present itself. Under an oak, a wretched, ragged man lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded snake had linked itself. And seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself. And with intent to glide, it slip away into a bush, under which bush's shade, a lioness with udders all drawn dry, lay couching head on ground with cat-like watch. This scene, Orlando did approach the man and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother. He had rendered him the most unnatural that could live amongst men.
And well, he might so do. For well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there, food for the sucked and hungry lioness?
His wife said he turned his back on purpose so. But kindness, nobler ever than revenge, and nature stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him. And when hurtling from miserable slumber, I awake.
Are you his brother?
Was he rescued?
Was you that did so often try to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was. Since my conversion so sweetly tastes of being the thing I am,
Before the bloody
that
napkin.
I am by. And from the first to last betwixt us two, tears are her countenance that most kindly bathe. In brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh revel and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who led me instantly unto his cave. There stripped himself, and here upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled. Now he fainted, and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. In a brief I recovered him, bound up his wound, and he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell the story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin, dyed in his blood, unto the shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalie.
Oh, sweet Ganymede!
Men will swoon when they do look on
Yes,
blood.
Lord, sweet Ganymede!
Look, he recovers.
Why would I were at home? We'll lead you hither. I pray you, sir, take him by the arm.
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man, you lack a man's heart.
You so, I confess it. Sirrah, why do you think this is well counterfeited? I really tell your brother how well I counterfeited I am.
This was not a counterfeit. There's too great testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
I should come, look paler, and they Sir, go with us.
That will I.
Audrey! Oh, come, Audrey! Oh, Audrey! We shall find a time, Audrey! Patience, gentle Audrey!
The priest was good enough, for all the old gentlemen say.
A most wicked Sir Oliver, Audrey, a most vile Martext. I do now remember a saying. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man doth know himself to be a fool. Oh, trip, Audrey, trip, Audrey! I attend.
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her? That on seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my son wooing or her son consenting. But say with me, I love Eliana. Say with her that she loves me. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good. From my father's house and all the revenue that was owed to Roland, shall I estate upon you. And you live, and I the shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all's contented company. Go now, and prepare Eliana. For look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thy wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother then tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Yeah, I know where you are. Just true. There was never anything so sudden. Your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they sought the remedy. They are in the very wrath of love, and they will together. Clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow. But oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. For so much the more shall I tomorrow be at the height of heart heaviness. Oh, how I shall think my brother happy in having what he wishes for.
Why then, tomorrow I cannot serve your turn as Rosalind.
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you no longer with idle talking. Know of me then, for now I speak to some purpose. Believe then, if you will, that I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3 years old, conversed with a magician. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries out, when your brother marries Eliana, shall he marry her?
Maybe snow and silver meaning?
My life I do, therefore put you in your masquerade. For tomorrow, if you will be married, you shall. And to Rosalind, if you will. Oh, look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Youth, you have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem ungentle and despiteful to you. You are there followed by the most faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him, he worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
Oh, it is to be all made of sighs and tears, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service, and so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, and all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience, and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance, and so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
But to her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Pray you no more. This is like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you if I ever marry woman, and I shall be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if I ever satisfy man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content thee. What pleases thee contents thee, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So very well, I have left you command.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Today is the joyful day, Audrey. Today will we be married.
I do desire it with all my heart, and I hope it is no dishonest desire to be a woman of the world.
Oh, wow.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I do sometimes believe, and sometimes do not. As those that fear they hope, and know they fear.
Patience once more, as our compact deserves. You say, if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here.
That would I. Had I kingdom to give with her.
You say you'll have her when I bring her.
That would I were I of all kingdoms king.
You say you'll marry me if I be willing.
That will I surely die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is Morgan.
You'll have Phoebe if she will.
Oh, though to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all matters even. Keep you your words, and repent I go. Make these doubts all even.
There is sure another flood toward, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which at all times are called fools.
Greetings, salutation to you all.
Good Lord, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman gentlemen that I have so often met in the forest.
And if any man doubt them from the court, let him put me to my purgation. Oh, I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with my friend, smooth with mine enemy. I have undone 3 tailors. I have had 4 quarrels, and like to have fought one.
And how was that taken up?
Faith, we met, and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
How 7th cause? Good my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well. Oh, God, you do, sir. I desire you the like. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives, to swear and to forswear, according as marriage binds and blood breaks, a poor virgin, sir, an ill-favored thing, sir, but mine own.
By my faith, he is very swift in sententious.
According to the fool's bolt, sir, and such dulcet diseases.
But for the 7th cause, how do you find the quarrel on the 7th cause?
Upon a lie, 7 times removed. Oh, bear your body more seeming, Margaret. As thus, sir. I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. Oh, well, he sent me word if I said his beard was not cut well. He was of the mind it was. This is called the retort courteous. Well, if I sent him word again his beard was not well cut, he would send me word he'd cut it to please himself. Oh, this is called the quip modest. Well, if again it was not well cut, he disabled my judgment. This is called the reply churlish. If again it was not well cut, oh, he would answer, I spake not true. This is called the reproof valiant. If again it was not well cut, he would say, I lied. Oh, this is called the countercheck quarrelsome. Oh. And so to the lie circumstantial and like.
And how oft did you say his beard was not well cut?
Oh, I durst go no further than the lie circumstantial, nor he durst not give me the lie direct. And so we measured swords and parted.
Can you nominate in order now the degrees of the lie?
I will name you the degrees. The first, the retort courteous. The second, the quip modest. The third, the reply churlish. The fourth, the reproof valiant. The fifth, the countercheck quarrelsome. The sixth, the lie circumstantial. The seventh, the lie direct. All this you may avoid, but the lie direct.
This is not a rare fellow, Lord. He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly as a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Good Duke, receive that daughter. Heaven from heaven sent her.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then my love adieu.
Have no father if you be not he. Have no husband if you be not he. Nor fair wed woman if you be not she.
Here's 8 that must take hands to join in Hymen's band.
My dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my word, now thou art mine. Thy faith, my fancy, tis thee doth mine.
Let me have audience for a word or two, and bring these tidings to this fair assembly.
Duke Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great worth resort into this forest, addressed a mighty power purposely to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood he came, where meeting with an old religious man, after some question with him, was converted, both from his enterprise and from the world, his crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again that were with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Thou dealest fairly with his brother's wedding. To one, his lands withheld. To the other, a land itself at large, a potent dukedom. But first, in this forest, let us do those ends that here were well begun and well begot. And after, every every of this happy number that hath endured true days and nights with us shall share the good of this returned fortune, according to the measure of their state. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity and fall into our rustic revelry. Play music! And you brides and bridegrooms old, with measure heaped in joy, till the measure's fall. Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites, as we do trust they'll end, in true delight.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it one more time for the cast of As You Like It.